Here we are again, Total Value RV here in Elkhart, Indiana. This is Chad Rothrock, the sales manager for the Class A division. I'm going to take you through a nice walkthrough. I'm trying to do a pretty detailed walkthrough today on this brand new 2018 Thor Challenger. This model here is the 37TB, the Bunkhouse model. Believe it or not, a big section of this product's market is not even folks that need the extra sleeping. A lot of people utilize those bunks for storage, and I'll show you in a bit how that works. But one of the big advantages with this new full body paint that we have here, the Siesta Key, is the fact that it is a Sikkens paint. Alright, we use 2x clear coat, and with this Sikkens full body paint you have a lot more flex in the paint. Prevents cracking, spider webbing over time. Want to move up front before I talk about these mirrors. One of the nice things about this coach is visibility from the drivers, and not only drivers and passengers, but all the other passengers in the coach. This is a one-piece windshield. Alright, it's an automotive style bond. We have a couple of new features for 2018, one of them being a new front cap, one of them being a new rear cap. We are now pre-wired for solar, and we've actually gone to an LP extension on all floor plans in the exterior of the coach. The new front cap offers LED lighting down low, and of course you have your stacked lighting with a great look up here. You will have LED lighting up top now, a little bit different from before. High beams, low beams, fog lights, and also your marker lights here. Chrome Velvac mirrors with chrome arms that has an integrated blinker activated camera system right here. Alright, that's a nice clear display. When you hit your right or left hand turn signal, it'll automatically pull up for you and show you everything down the side of your vehicle, including blind spots. Have to talk really quickly on the chassis on this because this is not your ordinary Class A gas motorhome. This coach is built with a very rugged 24,000 pound Ford chassis. That means it's got 30,000 gross combined weight rating, and so 8,000 pound hitch. But one of the things that brings, it brings bigger tires. Okay, rather than a 235 series Michelin tire, we have a 255 series Michelin ADR 22.5. Fantastic ride. This is both one of the most rigid chassis out there for a gas motorhome, and the ride is second to none. It is a Triton V10 6.8 liter motor, and you're going to have 320 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque. And once again, if you notice, I'm just going to go ahead and show you all the storage. 176 cubic feet of storage on this particular model. And what that's going to offer is tons and tons of garage space. If you like to bring half of your garage, like half of us do, you've got the space for it now. It's all rotocast line compartments, as you can see. Huge side swinging baggage doors, which are full size baggage doors here, not a partial door. It's a nice bulb sill they do here to prevent water from coming in, and again a nice big pass-through bay up top. With 176 feet of storage, it's one of the larger capacities out there. The gas Class A motorhome for exterior storage. They're really not a stranger to that with Thor. I talk about that on just about every video I do. The fact that they really maximize your usability with space and storage. Exterior television is a 32-inch TV. It's a CCTV. This is vibration tested, cold and hot weather climate tested, and vibration tested like I mentioned. But that's going to be an advantage for you over some of the other brands out there. Real quick, just got to talk about the capacities of this coach. 100-gallon fresh water tank. That is a huge fresh water tank. You have a 2-inch gate valve here for what we call a mega dump. This guy right here will help you drop all the water out of this tank in a real hurry rather than a line this size. And big advantage for customers that don't want to leave a water trail going down the road as they leave their campsite. So we have 80-gallon fresh, and we're going to have 100-gallon fresh, 80-gallon gray, 80-gallon black. This particular model will have the second bathroom, which will offer the second 40-gallon black tank. Just some additional pass-through storage. I can't miss just a couple little things just to point out. Guys, a lot of people like tailgating, like going to ball games, things like that, races. This is a great idea. If you ever want to just fill this here with ice, you've got a valve down low which lets water out but not in. And this is a great place to just go ahead and throw ice if you forget your ice chest, or you just need an extra ice chest. Great idea if you ever decide to use something like that. This is a 31.3 gallon tank. It's a huge tank, 103 pounds of LP. You should be able to get out there and do a ton of cold weather camping and not have to worry about running out of fuel source here. Just from this angle, Jeff, if you want to point the jacks, you look at the jack pad here, notice the base of that, how all of the hydraulic lines are encased. Some manufacturers will leave those exposed, and if you were to kick up any road debris, it is pretty easy to blow a line. So you don't quite have that issue with this coach here. Over, take a look. Another nice big storage bay, and you get a quick look at the LP connection here. We do have an exclusive feature with Thru's motorhomes, and one of them is going to be this. It's called a pet link. All right, that's trademarked there, and you've got a nice D-ring where you can hook up any of your toys or pets or anything like that when you are taking a trip. If you notice, you do have a huge awning on the back side of this coach, as well as a nice size awning up front. This is a 19-foot awning and a 10-foot awning. In combination, they cover just about the entire length of the coach, even over your entry door. It's just a great thing to talk about with this particular model. Both of those awnings will have a winter track feature when it does get a little gusty outside. You have an 8,000-pound hitch with Thru's gas motorhomes. Okay, another exclusive with this coach, another higher-end feature. An unleaded fuel fill in the rear, which is an 80-gallon tank. Once again, you have fuel fill from either end of the coach. If you were to pull into a busy filling station, you no longer have to go against the grain. You can fill from either end. Roof accessible ladder to get up top. Nice LED lights in the rear here. Nice LED bright docking lights up top. The camera, your backup camera integrated into the rear cap. And you have a nice new rear cap here. It's a great look. 7-way connector down here. Okay, for your tow vehicle. And talking, as we move around the backside of this coach, we'll talk a little bit about the construction in here. You have a fully vacuum bonded laminated sidewall, roof, and floor. Those are all going to be tubular aluminum welds, and then you have a steel tubular welded floor. And so, as far as structural integrity, this coach is one of the best out there. But one of the big advantages, we actually send this Ford chassis over to Moride. They're a quality vehicle modifier right here in Elkhart, right down the street from us. And Thru spends a lot of money to get their coach upfitted to give you the ride that it actually boasts today. So if you haven't had a chance to get out to your local dealer or out here at Total Value RV, please do. We encourage you to come on out and actually drive this vehicle. That's what's going to separate the men from the boys, so to speak, and really give you an edge over the advantage is your ride quality. Point back here really quick, you've got a black tank flush. You also have your rear dump station here, and you will have your black and your gray dump. I'll point out for the camera here. Notice where we mount our level indicators. They're to the exterior of the tank, minimizing corrosion and extending the life of those, as well as preventing the hang-up of toilet paper on the inside of your sensors, giving you false readings. You have a 5,500 watt generator, a 5.5K Onan QG, which is a quiet gas generator. Although it's positioned down here back in the bedroom area, it operates at lower decibel than you would think. It's actually close to 67 decibels, comparable to being at the wing of an aircraft. If you're trying to catch some Z's on a plane, you should have no problem falling asleep at night with your generator running should you have to. 50 amp service here. You have a marine grade area for your cord to pop in here with marine grade cover. Okay, and then of course you have your TV input for part cable. The other side of your pass-through storage here. You have a handy little gate here, that circular gate that the cover pops off. You drop this power cord down through here, and you can keep all your bay doors closed without tripping over your wires. Valve stem extenders have been added to this coach back in 2016 and a half, and the valve stem extenders are now standard here in your rear wheel. No more crawling on your belly to check the inner wheel tire pressure. Again, those nice big 255 series Michelin tires. Same tires they're using on a lot of diesel motorhomes today. So something to really kind of consider. A lot of people spend a lot more money on a diesel motorhome to better their ride quality. Some of that ride quality is coming from bigger and better tires. Moving on over here, You have a whole house water filtration system. It's going to filtrate 99.98% of all impurities. You can always add additional filters in the exterior of the coach if you'd like to. We call them inline filters, and it'll filtrate any of the impurities before it even gets to your filter. Sewer tank flush. Again, right here, easily accessible. If you don't know what that is, for folks at home, this is huge. This is the ability to no longer have to drop ice down the toilet and hit bumpy roads and hit a left and a right-hand turn to break everything loose in there. It's a perforated valve that will extend to the inner wall of the black tank and will actually act as a high-pressure sprinkler system for the inner walls of your black tank. Breaks up a lot of the sediment and helps keeps everything flowing nicely. If we get down low enough, you can see here you have access to your sure flow water pump, and you have valves for your hot and your cold, and then of course you will have your outside shower with this coach. We do an easy water / antifreeze hookup here, as well as easy bypass valves for winterization, as well as dry camping and campground style camping. This will be the majority of your storage. I'm just going to open up these and let our cameraman Jeff take you through a quick tour of the basement. Again, all rotocast line compartments. Notice the additional foam that they do in all areas that will create any kind of a void. We do a great job of keeping vermin out of the basements of our coach, and that also helps keeping them from the inside of the coach. You have an 1800 watt Xantrix inverter. That is a sine wave inverter, and you have a residential refrigerator, an auto gen start capability, which we'll talk a little bit more about inside. One of the bigger advantages with this product at this price point. You have two 6-volt batteries here and a 12-volt battery up in the front engine compartment. The two 6-volt batteries are run in series, and you actually have space for 2 more if you'd like to. A lot of customers do that. It just extends the capability for dry camping. Remember, now that you have pre-wiring for solar, less of a need for those 4 batteries. However, a lot of people still will opt for those. It's a few $100 and worth every penny. If you look here, you're going to have your hydraulics pump. In all of our videos, we like to talk about how easy it is to override the system should you ever have a jack fail. And in that situation, each one of the jack lines are color-coded, just like our hydraulic pump lines here. Big advantage, again, the ability to quickly and easily override any of the jacks levelers should we need to. And during our walkthrough, we always point it out for customers and show them how to do that. Here is a good example of just a little thing that goes a long ways, but they're protecting all of their grounds here with the coating to prevent corrosion over time. Taking a good look back here, you get a chance to see how well insulated your steps are. It should be tough for any of that road heat or any of the cold to get on up through there, especially the way that the floor is constructed. Your basements, all of your wet bays are always going to have a heat bay down to your wet bay. A heat duct down to your wet bay, and that'll help again from in colder weather. It'll help from freezing of your tanks and your lines. As long as you're running your furnace, you should be good. Now we can get to some really extreme weather, but we don't see too much of that throughout North America. Every once in a while here in Elkhart, but not a big deal. This coach, what I'm getting at, it's a very well insulated coach. 1.5 inch thick block foam sidewalls. That's a 2-pound block foam insulation. Again, the aluminum tubular welding in your roof, your sidewalls, and then of course your slide outs, and your floor again is a steel weld, aluminum. Look at the front cap, nice recessed lighting up top. The recessed lighting is great because you're not replacing lens covers over time going down the road with a high wind. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video. We'll take you on inside from here. We will definitely leave the slides in, give you a good look at the inside of the coach with the slides in. Hopefully you like the exterior. We'll catch up with you in just a minute. Hi there, we're back inside the brand new 2018 37 TB Challenger here at Total Value RV. I wanted to give you an exclusive look at the inside of this. Slides in, just so you can see just how functional our floor plans are, even with the opposing slides. Alright, so making our way through the coach, I just want you to see, number one, you've got a nice enough walkway. You can get in here walking straight instead of doing the shimmy. Once you make it on back here, you can actually open up and have access to your refrigerator, no problem. It's a little bit closer than walking all the way to the back of the coach. And of course, you still have plenty of access to get into the restroom here. Give you a chance to see this. Not a tiny guy, but you get a chance to see just how much space you have there. So fully functional with the slides in, and they've gone one step further. They've actually given you a television that will come all the way out with the sound bar, lock into position here with the slides out, and then of course locks back into position there. Going down the road, that's huge. Okay, so we're going to open up these slides now, give you a chance to see this beautiful floor plan, and we'll go into some in-depth features and benefits with the new 2018 Challengers. Welcome on back. We're going to go ahead and get you an in-depth walkthrough on the inside of this 2018 Challenger 37 TB model. And right out of the gate, I want to talk quickly about the brand new wood that we're using in 2018. This is the high gloss Newport wood, and it's paired with a Bay Breeze interior. 2018, the leatherette interiors have been upgraded, and two of our floor plans, this one being one of them, we've upgraded from a side sleeper sofa into more of a comfortable lounge style sofa sleeper. Now, when you move over here to the dinette, you'll notice it's a little bit more of an oversized dinette than what you'll get with most motorhomes. And a couple of cool features. You actually have backrests up here, so you can, if it's just the two of you, you can lean up against there, kick your feet up, sip your coffee that way. But this is called a Dream Dinette. That drops down, makes a nice sized bed. You'll notice the new flooring. Okay, it's a fantastic look. Looks like our same kind of flooring that we use in our Tuscanies in terms of styling. Of course, this is more of a residential laminate finish versus a tile, so it helps keep the weight down. Also, the neat thing about this, heaven forbid you should ever scratch anything up really good and do a number on it, would be tough with the bow floor. However, if you were to mess anything up, this is pretty easily replaceable. You can actually cut out each individual piece, and we can replace it that way rather than tearing the whole floor up. The bow floor is actually going to be mold resistant, cold crack resistant, mildew resistant, slip resistant, stain resistant. And one of the big advantages, again, is composite floor comes to us in sheets, so we can then lay this flooring on down. We don't use glue at every single inch of this coach. It actually allows the ability to expand and contract a little bit with this flooring. Talk about the flooring. What you don't see is part of that total value. It is 24 by 8 sheets of flooring. Notice, folks, you don't have a step to get into this cockpit. Okay, it's a nice flush floor all the way to the back, even when we make our way into the rear restroom. So a straight flush floor. Folks love that. 24 by 8 sheets of flooring means you have literally one seam in this entire coach. From the front of the coach all the way to about the point of right here, about minimal traffic, is all one solid piece of flooring. Advantages for that, well, if at home, say at your home, which is on a stable foundation, unless you have earthquakes, you don't move very much. But anyways, a stable foundation, you've got 4 by 8 sheets of flooring. They have joints every 4 feet. With this coach, you have joints every 24 feet. Well, in your home, if you're walking around, and I make a great example at home, I've got a what I thought was a turnkey home, and I walk in the kitchen every morning, make my coffee and breakfast, and I step on a certain area and I just hear this god-awful squeak. No different than motorhomes. The advantage here, you will not have that with this coach. If you do, it's a very, very long time from now, and you may have it at this point rather than every 4 feet. So to look really quick, when I take you up, talk a little bit about what's been done for 2018. We've gone to standard convection microwave ovens, and we've deleted the option for an oven here. However, if customers just absolutely have to have an oven, don't let that stop you. Your local dealer should be able to factor that in. I know we can do that here for you. But pointing out some of the drawer space, how big that is, number one. Nice deep drawers, residential style drawers there. And you'll actually have an adjustable shelf down here. Great overhead space here. We talk about it in every video, but I can't skip it with this one. Some of the most storage you're going to find in a gas Class A motorhome. Notice how the doors open opposing. Okay, you can fit larger items up here, casserole dishes, cookie sheets, whatever you'd like, without the obstruction. And you also have the adjustable shelving once again. You have hidden hinges. Well, if you ever had to, over time you may need to adjust a hinge, you can actually make the adjustment without leaving holes over here in the trim. This is solid hardwood. So for those of you that may not know the difference, over 90% of your manufacturers out there today at this price point are not offering this, this solid hardwood cabinetry. In fact, you'll get a lot of manufacturers at this price point that offer you the same kind of stuff you're going to find in travel trailers. So not quite what you're wanting to get if you're spending a lot of money. This being a higher end gas Class A, you're going to get the best in terms of quality from Thru Motor Coach. 50-50 split sink here. Nice storage underneath. The 50-50 split sink has a nice solid surface sink cover, and you will also have, say 50-50, just means it's the same size on either end. Nice recessed residential style stainless steel sink, residential style faucet with a pull-out sprayer, and that again has a single lever action on it. You've got a nice place for a wastebasket if you'd like, an easy place to just kind of toss things away without opening a drawer every time, or when it's time to change it out, you do have your space down here that you can keep your wastebasket. Conveniently located right in the inside of the coach when you walk in through the door. A couple things I want to point out really quick too, Jeff, for the 2018 models. We've gone to Firefly lighting. A lot of folks say, well, what is Firefly? And I've never heard of that. Well, I'll show you our central monitor panel system in a minute. But some of these remote panels that you'll see can actually pop off of the wall. You can actually use them like a remote control if you wanted to. And what it's going to have is some pretty unique features. Your awning light, your patio light, your stepwell light, your living room lights, your master on and off. This is one of the bigger ones here. So you hit one button and all of your lights come off. Show them in the coach, Jeff, and then keep your eyes on those lights. One button and they all come on. Really handy. You're no longer walking into your coach and hitting 15 different light switches to make sure that everything comes on, especially when you're walking friends into your coach, your neighbors, your guests. You want to impress the pants off of them, hit that button and watch the way the eyes pop when all the lights come on. It's fantastic. Jeff, if you want to come around this way, I'm just going to make a couple of quick points here before I go over the cockpit area. This is going to be a pull-out drawer. All right. We have rear-facing seats, so we do not do seat belts down low. You have seat belts in your forward-facing seats as well as your sofa here and your front driver and co-pilot seat. When that drops down here, when this drops down, you'll have covers that will come off of here. These are all Velcro. These will come undone, cover over the top of them, and then of course you have an extra 4.5 to 5 inches on either end of sleeping space. So 2 full adults here, 2 full adults here, and then of course 2 full adults right up here. We're going to run the bunk down for a second before I cover the cockpit stuff. Notice really quick, look at that huge display you've got up front. That's a 10-inch Axera display. That display now is set up with GPS navigation. On top of that, you're going to have a dual mirroring capability. What that means is with an HDMI input, we can go ahead and run everything off of our smartphones, tablets, laptop devices, and project it right there on the screen. For instance, if you have Google Maps that you like to use, you can absolutely plug your phone in and not have to worry about running off the coach's GPS. Now, it wasn't that way in years past, and so that's just a great thing to talk about within 2018. Here is a 500-pound weight limit on this. This is one of the best overhead bunk systems out today. We use a 4-inch thick cotton cloud mattress up here, so you don't have to mess with an airbed like we did historically, and you don't have a rock that you're sleeping on. It's actually quite comfortable. Cargo netting up top for safety, and you notice these solid aluminum, it's actually aircraft aluminum tracks that we use. Same stuff that you'll see outside on a lot of the slide outs. And advantage for that is it's a worm gear. Okay, if you wanted to stop this bed halfway down and just utilize it for storage when you get to your destination, you can absolutely do that. No problem there. Just remember you do have a 500-pound weight limit. Naturally, we do test them much higher than that, but for safety, we recommend no more than 500 pounds up top. I'm going to go ahead and run this bed on up and cover the rest of the cockpit for you. So it's pretty simple. Again, you don't have to stand here and do this. You can pop the remote off of the wall, and then we can go ahead and just run this bunk up or down from anywhere in the coach, really. I don't want you guys to get any good ideas at home, you younger brothers and sisters. I want you getting any cool ideas when it comes to that. We've actually come up with a safety feature. There's a key, parents, grandparents, there's a key where we can actually turn the power off to this bunk And if you wanted to, say for instance, leave some valuables, you're going to go out for a day of golfing or maybe some hiking or some shopping. You don't want to take all of your valuables and goodies, you can actually, or leave them out. You can actually go ahead and drop this bed down, store stuff away in there, run the bed all the way up, and then turn the key off, and you have some additional, what we call hidden storage. Might take a couple crowbars and a half a stick of dynamite if they really want to get it down, but it's a great little feature to have. Moving right around here. Again, the 10-inch Xera display, that's fantastic, but you have a press top computer station here. What I mean by press top, we've actually got a press top throughout all of our coach. You can see it here on the dinette table, and then I'll show you a couple other examples as we make our way through the back of the coach. But advantages to that is if you look at the competition, most of them are going to have a T-mold here. That molding's going to start coming undone over time. The press top's a good look, as well as will last. Here you have a nice bay where you can keep your laptop if you wanted to. And you actually have an area here to plug down low. You have 12-volt chargers down here. You have 110 charging station here. Plenty of cup holders throughout this particular model. You've got 6 cup holders right here up front. Well, you may not need all 6 of them, but you've got them, just in case. The neat thing is, when both of these chairs swivel around, I can give you a quick example of how that works. But most of the time, once you get to your destination, it's one of the bigger advantages to a Class A over, say, if you're considering a smaller vehicle or a Class C. The fact that these chairs absolutely swivel around. What that means is you're gaining an extra 4 to 5 feet of living space inside of your motorhome that you wouldn't necessarily have inside the cab of a Class C. Really quick, just want to point this out, show our customers back home just how easy it is to swivel these chairs around. So, once these chairs are swiveled, you can adjust your seat to your preference, but with the seats being swiveled, you can now set up your pedestal table here. Okay, if you wanted to kick back and watch a movie, you can definitely do that. Both of these chairs should recline enough for you to get really comfortable. If you want to bring an ottoman to kick your feet up, you absolutely can do that. But again, this is one of the big advantages with this product. Our engineering team, all right, we have tons of degreed engineers that work on this product line alone, and our products in general, that try and focus on user benefits, creature comforts, feature-friendly benefits. So what I mean by that is if you look around, almost everything that you see, almost every nook and cranny is utilizable. Okay, you can utilize it for space, storage, all of that. We've made all this living area up front accessible for you. And so never before, have you seen quite this much accessibility and usability and space, living space inside of a bunkhouse motorhome. We're going to make our way back. This is technically a bunkhouse model. So let's make our way back here, Jeff, and show them what that means. What that means is you can sleep 2 more adults if you'd like in here, no problem. If you've got real little ones, they may be able to share a bed, but for the most part, we want to go ahead and show them this, Jeff. How nice these doors are. These are a lot better doors than what you're going to find in any of the competition today. These are some of the best doors out there. They've got great struts on them. They've got great functionality and usability. As you can see, they store away beautifully. They don't rattle around going down the road. But here's one of the advantages again. For the folks that don't plan on bringing the kids, the grandkids, and your friends with you every single time, this has a pretty quick feature here. We can actually just lift this up, okay? It'll store away. I'm sorry, lift this up. This will drop on down. Give the folks at home a quick look. And of course, I'm not going to go into detail with the setup of this, but you got to remove your pillows, okay, underneath, so that this can go ahead and set that way. And now, when you've got a full house and you've got a ball game on or anything like that, everybody's got a place to sit. You've got great LED lighting. Jeff, make your way in here and show the people back at home what they get to see. You have a 15.6-inch television down low and a 15.5-inch, and then of course you have a 24-inch TV up top. I have to show this feature because this is great. You can actually, if you absolutely have no need for the top bunk, this is easily removable, just a few screws to bring that on out of the wall there. And then of course you have a full-length wardrobe here. A lot of people will keep the bottom bunk, remove the top bunk, utilize this for storage. Once you get to your destination, for you folks out there that actually RV and have been doing this long enough, you know pretty quickly that you run into limited amount of storage space in just about any vehicle. We find ways to bring half of our garage if we can help it. So anyways, this is just, again, all that extra space that you may need for a longer trip. Half bathroom up front. Okay, so the half bath, again, that pressed top counter here. This is a good look, no T-molding here. Nice stainless steel sink. Functional medicine cabinet. Let's throw them inside of there. All right, you have easy access to your water pump switch, your hall lights, and your fan up top. So for those of you that don't want to have to climb on top of the toilet, step on the sink, and operate the fan, this is great to have. Real quick, Jeff, bring them on in, show them this one. Again, with our Intelitech or Firefly lighting system, what you'll see is the different lights on each one of these panels. Anytime you see an arrow, whether it's up or down, as long as you hold that button, you can actually dim up and dim down your lighting right there from the push of the button. So, again, some great little hidden value there. Coming on back here, this is what we mean with the Firefly lighting system. Well, big advantages are, number one, it looks great. It centralizes a lot of the locations for switches and user function. But most importantly, we've drastically reduced the amount of weight in the coach, okay, by quite a bit, a couple hundred pounds in wiring alone. So we've reduced almost 80% of our wires in this entire motorhome, or any of our motorhomes at Thru Motor Coach that you'll see this particular setup. With that being said, with the weight reduction, that's a big advantage for us and our engineers and design teams. However, the big advantage for a consumer is the minimization of warranty issues. You know, we had over 55% of our warranty issues coming from electrical issues in the past, and so reducing over 80% of our wiring, you get a chance to see firsthand a reduction in warranty claims. So we do, at least. We do a ton of factory service work here at Total Value RV. And so we get a chance to see first year warranty items coming in. You don't have a lot of the issues that we had historically. So just another reason to kind of move forward and maybe get with the times and consider a 2018 over some of the earlier models out there. Outside, I made mention of the 1800 watt Xantrex inverter. The Xantrex inverter is now paired with an auto gen start capability. What that means is we can automatically fire up your generator without you being there based on some specific settings. We can do it based on just a running time, so hours, based on, in 5 hours you want to have that kick on. You can actually do it based on temperature, so thermostatically controlled. Let's say, for instance, you're out camping for the day, it's a 100-degree day outside, you have a pet that's going to stay inside the coach. You can set this thermostat for 75 degrees. Once your coach reaches much higher than that 75 degrees, it'll actually fire up your generator without you being there, cool your coach to your desired setting, and shut itself off without any fuss. With that being said, we have to be careful with that. Make sure that during the walkthrough, we talk to our customers about the fact that we turn our auto gen start feature off when we're storing the coach indoors. Okay, you don't want your generator kicking on indoors, creating carbon monoxide fumes. Just one thing to remember. But the creature comfort. So you've got a 100-degree day outside, 75 degrees inside for that pet. Heaven forbid something were to happen and in a regular coach you're just plugged into shore power, someone steps on your power cord, trips over your power cord, or the campground loses power altogether. This system will actually still work on your pet's behalf, or if you just don't want to come back to a sweltering hot coach, it works on that behalf there. There's another feature here. Another feature with the auto gen start capability is the quiet time start. For instance, quiet time at most campgrounds can vary, but let's just say it's 8 at night until 9 a.m. in the morning. You can set the quiet time, and it'll actually go one step further. Rather than just ensuring that the generator's not running during that quiet time, it'll actually fire up ahead of time, charge your battery bank, and give you a full battery bank full of power going into the night. So with that being said, it's one of the smarter features out there. One of the better features that we have on our Class A that a lot of manufacturers don't. Come on in here, Jeff. Let's show everybody at home what we've got now. Louvered cabinetry generally will indicate, actually almost always indicates, that there can be a washer and dryer applied here. What you don't see is any of the plumbing for it. Well, it's hidden behind this false wall here. So if you should want to put a combination washer and dryer, you absolutely can do that. Pointing out a little bit of the goodies that they've got. This is just great stuff to show. It's out of the way, but you have a place there to hold your base for the table up front, so you're not searching for areas to store that stuff. Show them this one, Jeff. We talk about this a lot, and I can't stop talking about it, but the space that Thor gives you. look up here. Most manufacturers would have cut this short, you know, maybe given you a flip-up TV here. Thor's actually gone the extra length and added a wardrobe bar up top so that, you know, rather than just having space here, a lot of it being dead space, it's usable, functional space. Good to talk about. Kind of an easy one, but a little bit of a tricky one. I like to show this off. You know, if you've got your socks you're putting on in the morning here, you've got a place to sit down. Not the biggest chair in the house, but again, you know, a little easier than maybe sitting on the edge of the bed to doing your socks and shoes in the morning. While we're down here, let's pop these drawers open for everybody back home. Notice you've got 110 receptacles conveniently located throughout the entire coach. At the ends of each bed, down low here. Okay, so you've got all this pull-out space here. A little bit more shallow up top, but not very much, by a couple inches. Full-length wardrobe over here, again with adjustable shelving. Nice bright LED lights in each one of these closets here. For 2018, I've been waiting, I've been itching to talk about this feature. It's one of my absolute favorite. What happens here, folks, is if you notice, we've got a dance floor in the bedroom. We've got a dance floor outside in the living room area or up front. But most importantly, should you want to have any guests over or anything like that, this is great. This actually becomes part of the living space if you wanted it to, because of the amount of walk-through space you have here. You can easily make it into the restroom. But what I'm getting at, this has been patented by Thor Motor Coach. It's called a tilt-a-view bed. What it does, it will tilt for your viewing pleasure. So we got television up front, 32-inch TV here, right? Let's just say it's still, you know, still a little early in the morning. You've got your hot cup of coffee. You want to sit up and watch the news. You kind of kick that up at a 45-degree angle there, and you're looking good. If you wanted to, again, just hide it away, give you more room in the bedroom or living area here, you can run that all the way back up. I'm going to show the folks at home, just for their viewing pleasure, the bed all the way down. Pedestal tabletop is going to match the dinettes as well as the rest of the coach here. Get a chance to see up close how nice the countertops are now in this 2018 model. And by the way, we've got new kitchen countertops, which we won't forget to show you. Those are new for 2018. They're a great look and really give this coach that higher end finish that it deserves. Huge shower back here. Great skylight up top. Lets a lot of light in. But again, for our taller gentlemen at home, we've not only raised the interior height of this coach from 82 inches to 84 inches, we've actually got a nice low enough step here to the folks that are 6.5 feet tall are not going to be ducking too much once they get into the shower, if at all. This coach here, and almost all of our gas coaches, actually all of our gas coaches in the Class A lines have been bumped up in terms of the counter height. They are now a 34-inch height back here in the actually here and in the half bath. So again, for you folks that are a little bit taller, we're not brushing our teeth down here anymore, washing our hands like this. Everything's proportionate to where it should be. Good space down low. Again, opposing doors that open up. Opposing doors that open up. What does it do? Minimizes the obstruction. Corner cabinetry here, maximizes storage space. Overhead space here. Slow rise blinds. And now these are going to be equipped throughout the entire coach. Nice thing about them is the roller style blinds, they don't have the strung style blind, the accordion style, where you got to pull them both down at the same time to get them right. They rattle around going down the road. This is going to hide away nicely and gives you one of those nice features. Nice feature, you just give it a little tug, pull it past the point of an inch and it stays fixed. Give it a little tug and it'll retract itself. Just like that. Emergency window here in the bathroom. We call it an egress window. It is actually a functional window too on stinky days. And the big advantage is you can make it right out of that window, no problem. Yeah, even someone who's a little bit older might not be the most nimble anymore. You don't have to climb up and out a window. You can literally just climb right out of the window. One last thing to talk about in here, Jeff, the fact that we've actually got your towel racks, hand towel rack, and toilet paper holder mounted for you already. We don't expect you to do that kind of stuff. You'll see that with some manufacturers out there. Water pump switch, fan switch, and then of course your bathroom lighting. Your bedroom lighting. Here's an example. Jeff, would you pull up the lights overhead? I'm just showing the dimming capability, so it gets nice and bright, and then it'll actually dim quite a bit. There's a lot of different settings to hit your desired preference there. Okay. Denver mattress. This is a residential style mattress. You have a king size bed in here. So again, a king size bed, bunks, triple slide, opposing slides. These are things that you just don't quite see in a typical bunkhouse motorhome, especially the fact that you've got the double bathrooms, or a bath and a half at least. And so real quick, let's make our way up front, Jeff. I've got a couple quick points that I want to show the folks back home. The thing is that we'll show them here. Get a chance to see how pretty that bedding is. Okay, that's a fantastic look. Again, the Bay Breeze. The headboard back here, it's a nice soft brown color, not black. But that's very pretty. I think most folks should love that. Again, I talk about it in some of our videos, but Thru Motor Coach gives you the ability, if we've got one here in stock that you love, you want to get out there and go camping right away. It's not too tough to get different pillows or bedding, or over time, maybe balances in 5 or 6 years when you want to upgrade your coach. Definitely doable there. Haven't talked about the fireplace feature. I love to show this off. Today here in Elkhart, it's not super chilly, but again in the mornings, you start getting into this fall weather. You got a nice little chill that is nice to have a handy feature like this. You just take the chill off of the area. There's 5 different flame settings. You have an LED control display, over 5,120 BTUs an hour coming from this guy, and of course you have a 1,500 watt setup. This guy right here is, just show you a couple of advantages there. So you have a setting there for your lighting. You have your heat setting, low, high. You have your temperature setting for that heat. Okay, and you actually have a timer for up to 8 hours on this particular model. Okay, but most of the time you can just leave that on. You don't have to worry about having the heat going, just to have an ambiance light setting here. Missed these ones. I'm going to show them those, Jeff. Missed the ones up top. Haven't talked about the sound bar yet, but you do have a sound bar, so you're not relying on the television's speakers to project sound over everybody talking inside of your motorhome. You can actually project a good amount of sound that way. We talk about them in all of our videos, but I'm just going to point out a couple of the more obvious features now. The fact that you have frameless windows is a big advantage. When we look at the outside of the coach, you see that nice clean look. You can see over here on this vehicle, a frameless window is a good look. The advantage is it protects and hides your seals at the windows themselves. Over time, UV rays really do a number on rubber and will shrink those seals, ultimately creating voids. This is going to protect those and extend the life of each seal at each window. The other advantage is it's a top swinging hinge on a frameless window. With that being said, look at all the air that you can create here and pull in combination with the overhead fans. Okay, these actually circulate 920 cubic feet of air per minute. The advantage for that is you've got a couple of them in this coach. You turn those on, open up your windows, and on a day that you might not have a nice draft, you're going to get a nice draft. Nice breeze that way. So from an engineering standpoint, fantastic design. It looks great. But with that being said, guys, it kind of takes me to the most important part of our video. Here at Total Value RV, we like to sell the total value, not the partial value. So what that means is, on a brand new motorhome like this, just came from the factory, rolled a few miles to come down here to Total Value RV, you get to pick up a fresh motorhome, as fresh as it gets. So for the folks at home that wonder, well, what's the difference? Well, let's say you're in California. You got 2,250 miles on your coach. Somebody else broke that motorhome in for you. Now, if you open, Ford's manual, or owner's manual, there are specific break-in periods. We recommend that you don't, initially go right into cruise control. You stagger your speed. Well, unfortunately, our transport drivers don't always adhere to those recommendations. And again, with a tow vehicle, you got a tow vehicle on, you're going 70, 75 miles an hour, not the way you want to break this guy in, especially when they're using cruise control. You want to stagger your speed, So we make a really big deal about that. Almost every one of these videos on the motorhomes, we talk about that because it's an exclusive feature. You don't get that with any other dealer. So give us a shout. Check us out on the webpage, www.totalvaluerv.com. You can give us a shout at 574-262-4460. I'm Chad Rothrock. I'm the sales manager. I'm here to help answer any questions that you have. I encourage our video police out there to monitor this video, make sure that everything has been talked about that you prefer or that you want to hear about. If there's anything else that we didn't cover, by all means, guys, drop a comment at the bottom of the video or give us a call here, and we'd love to go ahead and answer your questions for you. With that being said, no further ado, the magic. 65 miles on a brand new motorhome. So although it's built right down the street, again, some of those mileage are acquired by moving it around the lot, back and forth from our upfit center, off to paint and back, and then of course over here to Total Value RV. But the big advantage there is nobody else has that. Give us a call. Thanks again. Appreciate you hanging in there for such a long, informative walkthrough video. We'll talk to you shortly. Tune in for the next one.